Have you ever found yourself questioning everything that you thought that you knew about life, the way that you're living life, why you're doing what you do, maybe some discontent with your job? That was me about 11 and a half years ago. I thought I had my life all mapped out, and then life took a big turn. My name is Toni, and welcome to the Root podcast. Once the major event that happened in my life happened, I began to start questioning everything. What did I believe? What was the purpose of life? Is that all that we do is just to come here and work until we're old and then we die? And the catalyst for that was my husband of 21 years ended up being diagnosed with a terminal brain cancer. And in a matter of 90 days, he died. And at that moment, I just began to assess everything in my life. And I just decided I wasn't going to do things in my life that I did not love anymore. So one of the first things I did, I let go of my job. And it's not necessarily what I recommend. It was one of those things for me. If I didn't jump and do it, I probably would have just stayed there and been in agony at the job. It was a good job, a well-paying job, but it was just not the source of my happiness, and something inside of me just kept saying, there's got to be more. So that's the road that I'm on now, the more road, the road less traveled, and really just an adventure of finding myself and all the things that I love to do. So on to the root, we're going to be talking about spirituality. We're going to be talking about self-love healing. We're also going to talk about beauty. I happen to be in the beauty industry. I'm an advanced licensed esthetician in Las Vegas. But we're not going to be talking about beauty in the traditional sense. We're going to be talking about the inward beauty, the beauty that I believe a lot of people tend to forget that they actually have. And we get caught up in what society tells us that we should be. And, I'm here as a reminder that you didn't come here to be like anyone else but yourself. So that's one of the patterns I began to see in a lot of my clients. A lot of their patterns, of course, mimic some of my patterns because, of course, typically, whatever energetic level we're at is typically what we draw. So I began to see people that had a lot of mother wounds. I began to see people that doubted themselves and could not just really see their genuine beauty. They couldn't see themselves how I viewed them. And I thought they were so amazing. So I really began to ask the question, where do we get these thoughts from that we're not worthy, that we're not enough? And I'm sure by now everyone knows that a lot of things begin to happen in our childhood. Those are a lot of buzzwords happening right now, is childhood trauma and trapped emotions. But I think they do a lot more damage than we can ever imagine. And until we really begin to become aware of those things, I think we just are automatically just going through this repetitious program that we have playing in our subconscious mind. And that makes us kind of do all of the things that we just do on the daily, really without thinking. But I think the moment that you pause and become aware and begin to ask yourself the question, why do I do those types of things? And why do I feel this way about myself? I think that is the biggest beginning of your healing journey. And this is one of the big things that I really want to help you with, is to help you actually get to the root of who you really are. You're not the titles of the job, of the wife, of the mom, of the best friend. Sure, we assume those things, and some of those things in our lives are marvelous. But if you really get to the core of who you really are, you came here for your own purpose, not just for everybody else, and not to be everything for everybody else. And I think when we begin to heal those inner wounds within ourselves, those are the things that actually set us on the path for us to be exactly who we want to be. Live what people say, a dream life. At least living out the things that matter the most to you and matter the most in your heart. I think that is the most important. I think I've done a lot of that work in my latter years. And I think the most important thing I want to do is make sure that I share that knowledge and wisdom, that maybe I can help someone discover some things about themselves and heal some things about themselves before you have to spend so many years of wasted time really on untruths. Because you're not the name that anyone that has called you. You're not your race. You're not your gender. You're none of those things. You really are just a huge particle from the ether that came here to have this experience on this planet. So you have more gifts than you can imagine. And that is the beauty that I want you to see. Not just what we put on our face, or not the body work that we do, but the true beauty that gets to the soul, to the core of who you are. And these are going to be some of the exciting, fun topics that we're going to be exploring and unfolding here onto the root. And I will be having guests on from time to time, and we're going to tackle different topics and things, about that. So I am so excited to be here. I'm so thankful that I'm finally getting this done. It's been a long time in the making, swirling around in my head for a long time. But I hope that you will subscribe to my channel. I hope that you will leave me some positive comments. And I hope that you will like this, and I hope you will share it. And this is an exciting adventure that we're going to be on together, and I absolutely cannot wait. So I'll be seeing you soon on the next episode of To the Root.